So this morning, we are going to talk about emotionally intelligent marriages, spirit-led love that lasts. This is the bookend from the marriage seminar, and this message can apply to anyone here who can think. This is going to be more of a, I don't know what it's going to turn up into, but it's an opportunity for you to learn and look at yourself. Again, we talked about that all weekend long. We are so good at looking out. Did you see? Did you know what they did? Did you? But we don't. When we go to the mirror, we want grace and forgiveness, or we're condemning just the same way. It's one of those things. But emotionally intelligent, what does that mean? EI refers to the capacity to recognize, think about this, understand, regulate, and effectively use emotions in oneself and others. Your mental capacity to recognize, understand, regulate, and effectively use emotions in your emotions and others' emotions. It encompasses 5 core components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These competencies, my throat is so, thank you, Melanie, for this. Whew. These competencies collectively influence how individuals manage behavior, navigate social complexities, and make personal decisions that achieve positive results. That's all research quoted in there. You should be asking yourself right now, am I emotionally intelligent? And the question should always not be, yes, I am. It should be, I am striving to be, or, I haven't even thought about it. Because I see when in every facet of my life, I mostly see the blame game. Their fault. Their fault. Their fault. God's fault. This fault. Satan's fault. Fault. Instead of looking in. Emotional intelligence says that we need to look in. So our theme verse is Proverbs 4:7. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever you get insight. So I've looked at this now. I've looked at that verse millions of times. And I don't know why I never really checked out insight too much. Because I think we were talking about, like, all of a sudden just a word just pops out. Insight is that moment when things click. So you can look at wisdom books, Proverbs, you can talk about discipleship, you can do all these things, but when it clicks, when your marriage clicks, when you get on the right path and out of the rut and things start clicking, when your relationship with God clicks, you then have insight. You can know wisdom. You could be the wisest person on this earth, to go back to Ecclesiastes, and yet not have insight. In marriage and life, it is not just having facts or information. It's about seeing what's really going on beneath the surface. What God might be showing you. What your spouse might be feeling, or what the situation really needs. So, I've been with UPS for like 33 years. Can't even keep count now. But there was a time that someone worked there. They were literally the bane of my existence. Didn't like Christians. Didn't like men. I don't mean it bad. Like, it's just the truth. Especially didn't like it. I was a pastor. I tried everything. I'm going to honor. I'm going to respect. I'm going to do all this, and God's going to turn this around. Nope. God taught me over the decade plus what he required from me. To honor those in authority over me and work as unto God. Not complain all the time. Those a decade or more, I'm quite sure it's probably decades, taught me to start looking in instead of just blaming everyone else. The point one is recognize and regulate your emotions. Yeah! Aren't you excited? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, thank you. A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds back. Now, we're not saying which spirit that was. I'm not going to get into that freedom group argument, those of you who are in my freedom group. But you know what it's like. Those of you at the marriage conference saw a bit of that with our skit. When we give full vent to what we feel, my spirit says. I said that 2 weeks ago. We just like, well, I've just got to get it out of my chest. No, you don't. You're a fool. We are the fools when we do that. But a wise man quietly holds back. Meekness of Jesus Christ was not weakness. It was strength under control. You can have strength under control with your tongue. And you can say, I don't want to be a fool. Instead of, I'm just going to keep right on saying what's important to me. You know you've done it. Everyone's done this before at some point. Yeah, played the fool. Self-awareness is the starting point for emotional maturity. When we understand our emotions, we prevent them from dominating our marriage. Emotions can be emotionless. It's still an emotion. When we learn to control or maybe to self-regulate and become self-aware, we go like, oh, okay, I'm here again. We identify our problem. That is self-awareness. It's not doing this all the time. It's actually identifying that I am the problem. That is when maturity comes in. We understand emotions, we prevent them from dominating. And remember, this isn't just the spoken emotion. This is the things that go on beneath the surface. Usually two sides of this, and it's a variety of ways. One person is very outwards, a lot of words, a lot of whatever, and the other person is just with nothing much there. I'm more of the nothing much there at times, she'll tell you. And I'm just sort of like, oh, okay. But learning to come out and say what's going on in the appropriate time. When we are no longer able to change our situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Does anyone know who Viktor Frankl is? I heard it, I think. He was taken, I think it was to Auschwitz, lost most of his family. He survived and had a positive attitude while he was there, and literally came out and became a psychologist afterwards. But he said, we are no longer able to change the situation. We are challenged to change ourselves. Honestly, the question for you needs to be, are you ready to change? If a guy that was taken to a prison camp could have emotional intelligence and not just grow anger, so can you. So can I. It is my observation that most people wait till all of their physical, emotional, and earthly mechanisms are done before they'll turn to God for help. It's the I can do it. I am strong enough. Sort of like Tracy said, this is on Saturday, I am a strong woman. This is who she was taught to be. I don't need no man. I can do it. She can tell you where that takes you. For me, it was like I didn't want to depend on anyone else because I couldn't wait to get out of my home, exit stage left. I couldn't wait. Some of y'all have to go back for that. I said early 80s probably. But it was like, I'm not going to let anyone control me. And then I got to a point in ministry where I was hungry to be discipled and really wasn't. And I was told that I wasn't good enough. And it was like a year or two of darkness for me, probably longer. But in my heart, not good enough. Older men told me I wasn't good enough. And so older men became scary for me. And I also realized I was rooted in my grandfather's stuff. But now I trust older men. The ones who are living the life. The ones who've decided, I'm ready to change. And they challenge themselves. Point 2 might be the hardest one. Develop empathy for your spouse. And this doesn't just have to be marriage. This can be people in your life. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. A natural empath. I have a daughter who is a natural empath. She will, if things are good, she is on cloud 9. If around her, she's a sponge of people's emotions. When things are bad, she absorbs all that. She's had to realize and work on regulating her emotions. Because we can't just unregulate our emotions, or we're going to be in trauma situations again and again and again. We're going to repeat behaviors, and we're going to blame everyone else. We need to be believers who rejoice with people when things are going well with them, and hold their hand and cry with them when they're not. Empathy in a marriage relationship is the ability to enter your spouse's emotional world, to feel with them. Not just listen, to feel. To feel with them, not just for them. It's more than sympathy. It's about attuning your heart to theirs. Emotional intelligence grows when you choose to listen with the intent to understand, not to defend or fix. Men who are married or who maybe want to marry, I want to give you a promise that I probably couldn't have made 8 years ago. But in the last 7 or so, probably could have made it. My promise is this. If you lead your wife the way God intended, you will be the happiest person in this world. If you follow God and trust God instead of your ways, and sometimes that will be not listening to what your wife is trying to tell you because she is wrong, and you're going to have to say it in the right way. And leading gently and caring gently and walking that out. But it is also attuning your heart. We need to grow to listen. Not just to get past it all. Oh, the game's on. Hey, how long is this going to be? Speaking of older men, my first sermon, I think the church started at 11, but it was like 11:56. And this older gentleman looked at me, put his watch way up in the air. Oh. That was restraining the tongue. Let me tell you, I had to hold it all in because part of me wanted to go, yo, something wrong with your watch there, buddy? Can I help you up? You got to go tinkle or something? What's going on? Let me help you. But he never had to do that again. But sadly, I'm not going to go there. Use restraint, right? Empathy connects hearts. It allows you to feel your spouse's pain and joy as if it were your own. It is sad to see a marriage that is either all emotion or no emotion. There's no balance. Both of those are not good. Point 3, communicate with clarity and compassion. Communication. Rob and Beth did that well, talking to us on Saturday about how to communicate. Let your conversation always be full of grace, seasoned with salt. Sometimes you got to season it up in a good way. Sometimes in the marriage you got to spice it up. Now y'all's mind went somewhere. That's not what I said. Ain't nothing wrong with that either, but it's not what I said. I laughed so hard Friday night. Let me give you one, and you know you're old. I'm sorry for those older than me. I'm just going to give you a moment. I forgot about everything. I started messing with everybody. Tracy led, but I was up there, and I was the harassing person. I was just harassing everybody. It was fun. And I was laughing. I was dishing things out, and I felt no pain. As soon as I got outside the door from the well, I started doing this. And I think I popped an internal suture during that night. And so I went home, my knee ballooned up. I put ice on it. I was like, I was going to curse God and die there with my knee up there with ice on it, can't move. My side hurts, and I had to get up early to talk to y'all fools. No, I'm just like, I didn't mean the fools. Loving, it was all in love. But it is good to have fun together, is it not? What'd she say? I really couldn't hear that. I'm not in charge of... Oh, Pam. I think I did a good DJ up to one point where I forgot, I didn't know what was being said, and I scrambled for the phone. Rubber ducky. Season was... Y'all trying to distract me because this is serious stuff. Stop it. All right. The words we speak either build or break emotional safety. Either build or break. Speak truth in love, especially when it's hard. I told you men, but I'm going to tell you men and women this. We have agreed, this young lady here, who's I'm older than, we have agreed that we would share every emotion together in a healthy way. Even if I'm feeling something that feels selfish and stupid and irritating that has nothing to do with her, because I have this look on my face, I am going to share with her what's going on inside of me. And we are going to trust together that we're going to create safe space for whatever conversation that was. I promise you, it is a beautiful thing. Husbands and wives need to make that a safe place. See what it says, especially when it's hard. Don't have time. Gosh. Let's look at this. Communication styles. Hopefully you can see this. I'll read them off. But it goes across the top. Communication style, a destructive pattern, and an emotionally intelligent practice. No jabbing, no tapping, no elbowing. None of this stuff goes on right now. You think about you. And it doesn't have to be married. In your speaking, are you filled with accusations, yelling, and sarcasm? And sarcasm hits me. I'm like, ugh. Or are you calm, clear, and have a grace-filled expression? when you're speaking. When you listen. For some of you, it might be if you listen. Are you an interrupter and a dismisser of feelings? Oh, come on, you just need to grow up. Or are you an active listener and have reflective responses, hearing the heart of the person that you're talking to? Timing, a destructive pattern. Arguing when emotions are high. Or are you have an emotionally intelligent practice of waiting until both are ready to talk? I want to tell you, and we really haven't had much of this experience, but if one of us, I'm just going to put it on me, if I am fired up, it's best for me to shut up. Truth. But I also have to have a commitment to come back to the conversation. I can't just punt. I almost was going to bring a football today and kick it, and then I'm like, I'll pop another suture. Too many men love to punt. Oh, I might get the ball back later. You'll forget by tomorrow. 3 weeks later, yeah. Last one's intent. Destructive pattern. Trying to win or punish. Emotionally intelligent practice. Seeking mutual understanding and resolution. I'm going to let my guard down of what happened in my first marriage early on. I think Tracy can affirm to you that I pretty much have the facts straight on a lot of things. I'm not is that fair to say? And so when it became with Laura and I, we get, have an argument. I know, again, y'all don't have those, but we did. I could always keep pressing the truth and the logic of things until she emotionally responded. And then it didn't matter whether I was right or wrong. Look at you now. You can't keep yourself under control. You're too emotional. Then accusations start flying out. You need to learn to beat this. Well, then, I got that right back. Well, you need to learn to have some heart. And probably the hardest thing she ever said to me was, you treat your male friends better than me. You're more patient with your friends than you are with me. That hit home. Point 4, commit to grow through grace. Above all, love each other deeply because love covers a multitude of sins. If you take time to check in with your spouse or your friends, tips, or your children, when you check in and you're intentional with them and you are asking them questions and listening, when you mess up the next time, they're going to be less judgmental because they know you love them. And we, at the same time, should be quick to forgive, right? So that's all grace. Grace. Immediately just, hey, will you forgive me? Can I apologize to you for this? I wronged you. I hurt you. I'm so sorry. Emotional intelligence matures in a climate of grace. Growth happens when both partners commit to transformation, not perfection. Both partners, transformation. Last one. Top says emotional awareness, typical reaction in a conflict, and the marital impact. If your emotional awareness is low, you will see in conflict outbursts, denial, and blaming. And this can touch one person or the other person, doesn't matter. The marital impact is frequent unresolved argument. That's low emotional awareness. Medium. We're not talking steaks, guys, but occasional reflection, delayed reactions. Well, let me think about that. Marital impact, tension with intermittent peace. I'm pretty sure that's how my mom and stepfather lived when I was a kid. there was tension all in that house. But occasionally there was peace, and it was usually involving a fun event. Then that even blew up. But if your emotional awareness is high, typical reaction in conflict will be calm responses and immediate regulation of our emotions. Marital impact, constructive communication. Learn how to talk so the other person understands you. If what you have been doing doesn't work, get help. Work on yourself. I can't remember the 90s theologian, but they said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Dad joke 1, audience 0. If your emotional awareness is high, you will have empathetic listening, and you will have emotional safety built in. Your impact on your marriage would be deepened intimacy and trust. Emotional intelligent marriages don't just survive, they thrive. By learning to manage our own hearts and respond to our spouse with empathy, communication, and grace, we become a powerful witness to God's redemptive love. Let our love, I'm not talking just marriages, let our love be genuine, abhor or hate what is evil, and hold and cling to and hug what is good. Outdo one another in showing honor. Outdo. Don't wait for it to come to you. Outdo. Practice these things, and you will have a blessed marriage. Practice these things, and you will have better friendship. You will have better relationships with your employer or employees. If your emotional intelligence is something that you're working on, if you just go, can't change, Eric. Can't change. Too old for that. You are listening to a liar. The enemy is lying to you. But you look to God and say, by the grace of God, if there's just one thing here that got a hold of you, by the grace of God, I'm going to go and I'm going to pop Google up and I'm going to learn about emotional intelligence. I'm going to study in the Bible verses related to emotional intelligence. I'm going to look up books, and I'm happy to, Kennedy and I would be happy to look at books, Rob Horner too, just and tell you, hey, these books are good or probably not. I think we can handle that part. But be a student of the Word and things that you need to work on instead of a reactive student that reacts when things are too late and relationships are too painful and all the pain is just falling apart. But even then, there's hope.